If you're thinking about buying a new car, maybe you should watch this video. You've been working hard, you deserve it, but just be prepared because the average cost of a vehicle is over $50,000 right now. And if you've been eyeing that new pickup, it's only going to cost you what a house did 20 years ago. And if those prices didn't give you a stroke, then you can move forward. So surely if you're paying that kind of money for a vehicle, it's going to be great. All the bells and whistles, technology, everything's going to be fine. Well, maybe it's better we just find out from people who have enough money to buy these cars in the first place. Let's see what they say.
10,000 miles on her, bro. Fucking shitty. 10,000 miles, and this is what she sounds like.
Is this how my power stroke's supposed to sound like?
This shit is why I hate new cars. I go to reverse. Warning, 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 warning. Shift to park because there's a pole in front of me because they parked as close to the pole as possible. Look what it does when I go to put it in reverse. It automatically parks itself. Reverse. Let off the park. It parks itself. How I can't move the car because it's parking itself because of the light pole. Because of a sensor. This is stupid.
Okay, 2025 Jeep Wagoneer. We're currently in drive, coming to a stop sign. We're gonna come to a complete stop. And then, yep, there it went. Completely shuts off. I was in drive, didn't even put the car in park, completely shuts off, and I have to redo it. And then it throws, usually it'll say like power steering. Yep, there it is, right there. If anybody knows what this is, let me know.
My car's in the shop. Brand new car, okay? Just bought it 2 months ago. GMC, Yukon Denali, love it. Almost $100,000 vehicle. Why is it in the shop 2 months later? Service the leveling system? I don't even know what that is. How is it that we have all this newer, fandangled stuff and it's crap? We are paying so much more for things to get horrible quality. Now, I love my car, but it shouldn't be in the shop 2 months after I bought it, brand new.
It's funny to me as cars get newer and the technology gets newer, I think they're actually going to get worse. This Mach-E does not have a door handle. This is a door handle, right? You pull in it, the door opens. This has a push button. Door opens. I have one problem with that. It snowed a little bit last night, probably 1 or 2 inches. So my Avalanche is here outside, right? So the Mach-E would have a push button somewhere around here. You're going to have to find the push button, right? Instead of just pulling the door open, right? Wow, that actually worked. So the push button would be somewhere around there. I guess if you own an EV, you should just park it in a garage. If you don't have a garage, don't own an EV. Because this is a push. That latch has to disengage. So what happens when it's iced over? You're not going to be able to just pull the door open, right? It's not going to be a simple process like that. This is a grab handle, so this is only going to work after the door has unlatched. If that mechanism gets frozen in there, you can't tug it open.
I had to do all this shit. Move all this shit. Just to change the cabin filter.
Okay, tell me if I'm crazy. Bought a brand new 2026 Chevy Traverse Z71 end of January. Owned it for 3 weeks, had to have it towed back to the dealership because the check engine light came on, lost power steering, all these bells and whistles on the dash. It's now sat at the dealership since February 16th. They've attempted multiple repairs. Dealership has been great, by the way. And they've given me a loaner, so I haven't been out of a car. But now Chevy, who is going to be buying back my car, thank God, is giving me a lowball offer. And the offer that they gave me for the swap for my new car barely covers the new car. And I get a call today from my dealership saying that based on what they're giving them, my payment's going up. Why is my payment going up for the same exact car that I got to drive for 3 weeks? Am I crazy?
I realize new cars are getting more expensive. The one thing that really bugs me is if we're going to pay more money, why are they building the cars so cheaply? You can say inflation and whatnot, but at the end of the day, the materials, everything they're using is cheap. This carpet, if I call it carpet, I can go to Hobby Lobby and find felt thicker than this. This used to be what's in the trunk of an old car. This is it's in the back of an old car. This is literally thicker than the carpet that's in a $50,000 car. Like, what is this? And the other thing too, I always thought these electronics made them more expensive. Now realizing this screen, that screen, integrating everything into screens is actually so much cheaper for the manufacturer. Whether it's making door panels all one piece, so that way if you break this, you got to buy a whole new door panel. So not only are we getting more expensive cars, we're literally getting shrinkflation when it comes to the quality of the car. Like this design now with having the buttons and the knobs and the switches all separate from screens, actually more expensive than the screens. So we're getting duped. We're getting more expensive cars and we're getting worse quality. It's like, what a scam.
How in the hell are y'all buying these new trucks? We went shopping the other weekend and the salesman tried to open this door and I caught a glimpse of the sticker. I said, what the fuck does that say? I slammed the door back shut, $92,000. I said, what in the hell? He said, what are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for wherever the hell it is you lost your damn mind. I'm leaving. I drive a 2011. It's got AC and shit. It leaks some oil, but all good trucks do. He said, were you wanting to trade that truck in? I said, I bet you'd like that. Hell no. I said, me and paid for are going to keep on keeping on, big dog. Because that can never be me, $100,000 truck. What the hell are y'all doing?
Can you imagine spending $85,000 for a pickup truck? More importantly, an F-150. This thing doesn't even have a V8. This is a V6 hybrid system. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Oh, why is there two? Oh, nice. You have to have two reservoirs for the coolant. One for the batteries, one for the engine. That's not going to go wrong. And this is a platinum, and basically everything on the door panel, plastic, 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 suede, leather. It's like, how cheap can you make this truck? You're charging $85,000. Plastic is unfinished. Look at that. Nice little ridge there. Like, that's some great build quality right there. If you were to spend $85,000 on a pickup truck, I probably wouldn't buy a Ford.
$50,000 to $80,000 for new trucks? Ford, GMC, Chevy, have you lost your minds? You buy yourself an F-150, buy yourself a Silverado, buy yourself a GMC, 150,000 miles, got to replace the transmission. Going to be super expensive to maintain and upkeep. Yes, there's F-150s over 250,000 miles. And the trucks are actually the thing that these companies make the best, but they're still completely out of their minds with what they're trying to charge us, especially with who these vehicles are for. I get that people need a truck, but you guys trying to charge people $50,000+ for cloth seats and a base level truck is completely insane. And yes, you can blame other things. You can blame inflation, you can blame economy, you can blame, anything that you want. Blame the tariffs, blame the president, whatever you want. But the point is, you guys are drastically overcharging for trucks that are poor quality, that break down at 150,000+ miles and are very expensive to fix. This is your own fault. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong on this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to me that people still make this argument today that it is cheaper to buy a new car, which, by the way, the average new car payment right now is approaching, I think it's well over $700 a month now. $700 a month. That is insane. So on average, it does not cost me, say, $7,000 a year to make repairs on a reliable used vehicle to keep that car on the road. But it's amazing to me how many people who live paycheck to paycheck that I've coached over the years, and I used to make the same mistake too, that fall for this. I need a reliable vehicle. I need something with security. I need a warranty. You know how much money you're spending on those types of things? But yet, if you bought yourself a fairly good used vehicle, paid cash for that vehicle, and then maintained it, do you know how much money you can save? So many people who live paycheck to paycheck could do so much better with their finances by ditching these high car payments. But too many people get stuck in this excuse of, well, I need a reliable vehicle and I don't have money to really make repairs. Well, you would if you got rid of those car payments.
If you're trying to be financially savvy, never buy new, because buying a new car is basically just throwing your money away to depreciation most of the time.
And how much are you losing once you drive the car off the lot?
Yeah, off the lot, depending on the model, 15%, 20% right off the top there. And then in the first 3 years, you typically lose 40% of the car's value. That's typical depreciation curves.
5 reasons why I drive a 20-year-old paid-off car instead of getting a new one. I'm Taylor, and I share the imperfections of my life, like how I drive a 2006 Toyota Camry. I was gifted this car over 10 years ago, already paid off, and here's why I keep it instead of buying a new car. Number 1, I don't have a car payment, which allows me to put that money toward investing for retirement and saving for my wedding instead. Number 2, I upgraded my stereo years ago so I can still listen to music and podcasts whenever I want. Number 3, my car is simple. There aren't a ton of gizmos and gadgets. It's a very minimal car and I like the simplicity of it. Number 4, if someone were to accidentally bump into my car and scratch it, I would be a little bummed, but not like I would be if my car was brand new. My car has plenty of paint chips and random scratches that I've just accepted at this point. Number 5, being debt-free is a great feeling. When I paid off my student loans 5 years ago, I learned just how stressful having debt can be. Right now, I would rather be debt-free driving around my grandpa car than in debt driving something else. One day I'll get myself something a little more modern with upgraded safety features, but for now, this car works great.
Hey there, I'm Farmer Tom. I just can't believe this mess. What is going on? What happened to American quality? And you want $80,000 for a pickup truck for this? Listen, even if these vehicles were top notch, ready to go 20 years, don't worry about nothing. Just change the oil. The price still doesn't make sense. You want $80,000 to $100,000 for a pickup truck? And I guess there's still some people with that kind of loaf walking around buying $80,000 pickup trucks, but then you're having all these issues. And then something like a little sensor is broken and you got to take the whole inside of the car apart to fix something. It's ridiculous. I don't know, even if I was rich, I still wouldn't buy a car brand new just because it's going to lose 30-40% of its value in that first year. But to justify $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 for a pickup truck, do we forget what these cars are for? These vehicles were meant to tow shit, to get people to and from work, to do heavy lifting. And now we just turned them into these cheap plastic beeping little technology toys. You think with technology advancing that things would get better and better, but it looks like a lot of these cars are getting worse. I don't know. I just don't see how it's worth buying a brand new vehicle right now. They're so expensive. There's so many issues. It just feels like quality has gone down. The prices are way too high. I don't know. If it makes sense for you, to each his own. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.